The Sahara Desert, a vast ocean of sand, timeless, unforgiving, yet hidden beneath its dunes lie secrets. Secrets of a civilization that rose from the desert dust, a civilization that gazed at the same stars, pondered the same mysteries. This is the story of ancient Egypt. Our journey takes us back to 3100 BC, a time when mammoths still roamed the earth. Imagine a greener, more fertile land, a land nourished by the mighty Nile. This is where our story begins. On the banks of this life-giving river, a remarkable civilization began to take shape. Small villages scattered along the Nile began to flourish. What would become one of the most enduring civilizations in human history was about to emerge from the mists of time. The Nile. More than just a river, it was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. Each year its waters rose, flooding the land and depositing rich, fertile silt. This annual flood was a gift, allowing the Egyptians to cultivate crops and sustain life in an otherwise arid land. But the Nile was also a challenge. The floods were unpredictable, sometimes too low, sometimes too high. To thrive, the Egyptians needed to work together to control the river's flow and harness its power. This need for cooperation led to the formation of small communities, villages that learned to work together for their mutual benefit. Over time, these villages grew larger, forming two distinct kingdoms, Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north. For centuries, Upper and Lower Egypt existed independently, each with its own ruler, its own customs. But the desire for unity, for a single kingdom stretching the length of the Nile, began to take root. This desire would culminate in a period of intense conflict and change, a period that would see the birth of a unified Egypt. The unification of Egypt was not a single event, but a gradual process marked by alliances, betrayals, and ultimately conquest. From the shadows of this turbulent era emerged a figure destined to become a legend, Narmer. Narmer, a powerful ruler from Upper Egypt, recognized the strategic importance of uniting the two lands. With this vision in mind, Narmer embarked on a campaign of conquest, leading his armies north towards Lower Egypt. Narmer was more than just a warrior king. He was a shrewd strategist and a charismatic leader who understood the power of symbolism and propaganda. His victory over Lower Egypt was not just a military triumph. It was a carefully orchestrated event designed to legitimize his rule and establish a new order. One of the most iconic artifacts from ancient Egypt, the Narmer palette, provides a glimpse into this pivotal moment in history. Carved from a single piece of siltstone, the palette depicts Narmer wearing the crown of Upper Egypt, raising his mace to strike down an enemy. On the other side of the palette, Narmer is shown wearing the crown of Lower Egypt, symbolizing his dominion over both lands. This powerful imagery sent a clear message. Narmer was now the undisputed ruler of a united Egypt, the founder of the First Dynasty. His victory marked the beginning of a new era, an era of unprecedented stability, prosperity, and cultural achievement. But Narmer's reign was not without its mysteries. Another figure emerges from the sands of time, a ruler known as the Scorpion King. His true name remains an enigma, lost to the passage of centuries. But his symbol, a scorpion, hints at a reign of power and perhaps danger. Some scholars believe the Scorpion King was a rival to Narmer, a powerful ruler in Upper Egypt who challenged his claim to the throne. Others speculate he may have been a predecessor, a king who paved the way for Narmer's unification. Evidence of the Scorpion King's existence comes from a few key artifacts, including a mace head discovered in the Temple of Horus at Hierakonpolis. The exact relationship between Narmer and the Scorpion King remains a subject of debate among historians. Were they rivals, allies, or perhaps even the same person? The sands of time have obscured the truth, leaving us with more questions than answers. With the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, a new era dawned. Narmer, the first pharaoh of the First Dynasty, established a central government and laid the foundation for a thriving civilization. One of his most significant achievements was the establishment of Memphis as the capital of this newly unified kingdom. Strategically located at the apex of the Nile Delta, Memphis served as a vital link between Upper and Lower Egypt. It quickly blossomed into a bustling metropolis, a center of trade, administration, and culture. Magnificent temples, palaces and tombs rose along the banks of the Nile, testaments to the power and wealth of the early pharaohs. Under Narmer's successors, the First Dynasty flourished. They developed a hierarchical society with the pharaoh at the pinnacle, followed by priests, nobles, scribes, artisans and farmers. This social structure, though rigid, provided stability and order, allowing Egyptian civilization to flourish. The First Dynasty also witnessed significant advancements in art, architecture and technology. Egyptians developed a system of hieroglyphic writing, a complex and beautiful script that would be used for millennia. The First Dynasty marked a turning point in human history. It was during this period that many of the hallmarks of ancient Egyptian civilization first emerged. The unification of the two lands, the establishment of a centralized government, the development of a complex social structure and the emergence of a unique and enduring artistic style. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the First Dynasty is its monumental architecture, particularly the mastabas. These flat-roofed rectangular structures, built of mud brick and later stone, served as tombs for the pharaohs and their families. These early tombs, though modest compared to the pyramids that would come later, represent a significant step in the development of Egyptian funerary architecture. They reflect the Egyptians' growing obsession with the afterlife, their belief in the importance of preserving the body and providing for the soul's journey into the hereafter. The First Dynasty, though long gone, left an indelible mark on the sands of time. The achievements of the First Dynasty were not limited to monumental architecture and political unification. This period also witnessed the development of a vibrant culture, rich in symbolism, ritual, and a deep reverence for the natural world. The Egyptians of the First Dynasty developed a complex system of beliefs centered around the pharaoh, who was considered a living god, a mediator between the gods and humanity. They worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each associated with different aspects of nature and human experience. Ra, the sun god, was the source of all life, while Osiris, the god of the underworld, represented death and resurrection. Hathor, the cow goddess, symbolized motherhood and fertility, while Horus, the falcon god, represented kingship and protection. These gods and goddesses were not simply abstract deities, they were an integral part of everyday life. The Egyptians believed that their gods influenced the Nile's floods, the success of their harvests, and even their personal fortunes. These religious beliefs, deeply intertwined with the rhythms of nature and the cycle of life and death, would continue to shape Egyptian culture for millennia. The First Dynasty, though long gone, continues to fascinate and intrigue us today. Archaeological discoveries continue to unearth new insights into this pivotal period, shedding light on the lives of the people who lived, loved, and died along the banks of the Nile over 5,000 years ago. From the sands of Saqqara to the tombs of Abydos, archaeologists are piecing together the story of the First Dynasty, revealing the secrets of a civilization that laid the foundation for one of the most enduring cultures in human history. The artifacts they unearth, pottery shards, jewelry, tools, and even the remains of the pharaohs themselves, offer a glimpse into a world both familiar and profoundly different from our own. The First Dynasty, though separated from us by millennia, speaks to us across the ages, reminding us of the enduring power of human ingenuity, creativity, and the eternal quest for meaning in a world full of mystery. Today, the legacy of the First Dynasty lives on, not just in its monuments and artifacts, but also in the countless mysteries it left behind. Who was the Scorpion King, and what was his relationship to Narmer? What other secrets lie hidden beneath the desert sands waiting to be discovered? The study of ancient Egypt is a journey of discovery, a constant process of piecing together fragments of evidence, interpreting ancient texts, and unraveling the mysteries of a civilization that continues to captivate our imaginations. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding these ancient people, their beliefs, their motivations, and their place in the grand tapestry of human history. As the sun sets over the Nile, casting long shadows across the sands of time, we are left to ponder the legacy of ancient Egypt. From the unification of the two lands under the First Dynasty to the fall of the last pharaoh, Egyptian civilization spanned over 3,000 years, leaving behind a treasure trove of art, architecture, and wisdom that continues to inspire and intrigue us today. The story of ancient Egypt is a story of human achievement, of resilience, of the enduring power of the human spirit to create, to build, and to leave behind a legacy that transcends time. The First Dynasty, though just the beginning of this epic tale, set the stage for one of the most extraordinary chapters in human history. So the next time you gaze upon an ancient Egyptian artifact, whether it be a towering pyramid, a delicate papyrus scroll, or a simple piece of pottery, remember the people who created it. For in the end, we are all connected across time and space by the shared threads of our humanity.